Hello, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Um, this is my first podcast, so you're gonna have to bear with me. My name's Omegajackson. Um, this first podcast, I'll probably edit the shit out of this. Um, Mike, what's good? Oh, this motherfucker got what's that champagne?
Yep.
Motherfucker drinking champagne like a fucking supervillain. Yo, give me 1 second. Let me try to get Hannah in on this. One second, cold open.
I'm just celebrating nothing in particular.
Give me 1 second. Audio's good on this end?
Yeah, I can hear.
All right. Let me see. All right, so let me do this. I'm going along. This is Mike Kaboom, illustrious guest, former lead singer of Kaboom, JD Power.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Know it. AKA Big Pharma.
Okay. What else you do? My man's got a career right now. And shit. We all toiling and whatever. This man got a straight fucking career. All right. Let me see where Hannah's at. Let me send his invite. All right, sorry about that.
I
Still
never see this angle on your social media posts of your space. This is
the
like
studio is completely different. It's nobody sees it. Like it's just the
so you carefully crop out all of this stuff.
Oh yeah, nobody sees this. Nah, hell no. This is for gatefold.
Yeah.
This is the wind out. Like you only get a piece of it. Like in Check Your Head, I heard there's like a whole like the mural in it. There's like a whole different thing involved in it. Like you fold out and there's so much more that goes on. Like we just got the little space, and they got a collage on the back of it that goes on forever, and they just cropped it. Little. All right, Hammer's trying to join. I was like, congratulations.
Thank you.
How's fatherhood?
It's great. Yeah. She turned 5 weeks old the other day. She's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, love it.
A friend of me and my wife's just came over, and she brought her baby. She had a baby in September, and it was sort of the warm up process. Like it was like, all right, do we do this? The mother was like, nah, it's a setup. Don't have no kids. Then she sort of warmed up about it. The cats, that was the main story because we got shrimp. So all the cats came over for the shrimp and to look at the baby. So it was sort of like, all right, what is that? There's a little human right there, and there's shrimp, and then there's a little baby, and then fuck the baby, give us the shrimp.
Yeah,
and so,
sounds about right.
No, let me fuck it. I'm gonna kick it cold. I'm gonna start with the building process and whatnot. As a man in a band, what was your ABC experience like?
Well, like when I first started going or playing there.
Yeah. Let's start with let's start with you as the consumer, so to speak.
I mean, I had seen it on flyers. I'd go to big shows at bigger clubs like the new Ritz, quote unquote, which is Studio 54 was, and places like that, the Marquee, and then small places like Bond Street Cafe. And I'd see these flyers for this place, ABC No RIO. I didn't know where the hell the address was because no one went that low on the Lower East Side back then, because unless you wanted to buy a hair wand. So like
facts.
And I my friend's band Tapeworm was playing there, opening for Total Chaos. So I finally went there, and I was just like, this is a whole other kind of place. It's like this dank basement with graffiti everywhere, and like people are shooting up and like passing out, and it was a lot of spiky hair crusties, and it was wild. It was real anarchy, and it was cool, but it was also intimidating because I felt like, oh, I'm kind of like I'm an outsider here because I was like hardcore kid, with like champion hoodie and fatigue pants and like whatever, like a sick of it all T-shirt, and I was like, and these were like real punks, and
Yeah,
it was
there's sort of the fashion show aspect of it. It's
yeah,
weird because like I generated more towards like uniform wise, the fucking the fatigues, the Stackhouse jersey, the hoodie, especially the champion
yeah,
hoodie and shit. That's
oh yeah, Conehead hoodie, yeah,
and shit because it was like the punk rock look was a little too white for me. It was the grimy version of like the glam look.
yeah. For
Like,
me, it was also like, oh, I'm not trying to stand out because once people talk to me, they're gonna know pretty
yeah,
quickly.
that was my follow-up question. I was like, yo, did you just go chill in the corner, or was you out and about?
My friend Jamie already knew a couple people there. This dude Shawnee, who dropped off the face of the earth, and my homegirl Jen Haight, who's down in Philly now, who used to do zines and stuff. And they were nice to me immediately. So I had a couple people that were cool to me right away. So and I had a friend, so it was all right.
All right, there you go.
And then, other people warmed up to me quick, like Neil from Nausea, Tribal War Records is
Neil,
cool.
dope.
Snyder,
Neil.
Snyder from Wasipungo, he was always real chill.
Oh, nice. Hold on.
Yeah.
We got this isn't admit. Hold on. Everybody listening, this is my first time doing this.
Hey,
We
what's up,
have
Emma?
hold on, let me do the introduction. Besides Mike Kaboom, we have I'd say an album for legend for not just music, his exploits. Ladies and gentlemen, the other tall person in the room, my man Jamie Hammer, abject, close to the edge, tsunami, with job doubt, dominator. There's 100. This man wears a lot of hats. That's it. Jamie, you connected? Hello, hello, hello. I just did a dope ass intro and yo, can you hear us?
I
Okay.
don't think he can hear you.
I don't think he can. See his big ass head. Yo, Hammer, you in there? Yeah, he's pantomiming. Hold on. Let me text him. Because I want to finish building on that. Hold on. Drink champs, they fuck up all the time. This is punk rock drink champs. Hammer. That's the unmute.
He's still on mute.
He's on mute.
Yep.
Okay. You hear me?
Yeah. Did you get my intro?
Nah.
All right, yeah, I did. I'll put you over. So we have the illustrious Jamie Hammer and the illustrious Mike Kaboom. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about ABC No Rio. Mike was talking about when he first showed up. You want to do another run through of that? Yeah, like how you what's homegirl that's in Philly now?
Oh yeah, like I used to see it on flyers, and like I didn't know where it was. And my friend, another Jamie, like his band Tapeworm was playing with Total Chaos. Must have been like 94, 93 or 94. And I went down there, and it was like I had never been down to that part of the Lower East Side, and it was like crazy and scary and different in all ways. And I was definitely a fish out of water. Like I was like the hardcore kid with like sick of it all T-shirt and champion hoodie and like fatigue pants, and everyone there was like either like a crusty like passing out with a needle in their arm, or spiky hair,
Really?
drunk fashion punk. And it was definitely intimidating, but people were cool to me right away. People like friends of friends, like my friend Jamie's friend Jen, she's down in Philly now. She used to do zines, and so other dude Shawnee, who disappeared, but people were pretty cool right away, but it was different. It was authentic, and it was what I was looking for that I didn't find at those bigger club shows because, you know, it was kind of choochy over there, you know, kind of like that kind of L'Amour's like vibe, you know, that kind of tough guy shit, you know. I wasn't into it, you know.
It was weird because there were like different tough guy clubs back then too.
Yeah.
Like you had L'Amour's, you know, which, you know, that was your neck of the woods and shit. You had L'Amour's, you had CB's, which was like, you know, wrestling terms, it was the blow off of like tough guy shit, you know. And it also, you know, put in a lot of people got their introduction to it. In my personal opinion, I think it was a little cliquey too. Yeah, I was a big Wetlands fan.
Oh yeah, me too. It was my favorite place.
Same here. I think all greatest of all time.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
TV's is dope, a little overrated, but that's my, you know, that's my opinion.
Because Wetlands had the opium den downstairs, where you just go and like light up down there, you know.
There was always something to smoke downstairs at Wetlands, even if you didn't have nothing. Like, yo, I got you, you know.
Yeah.
That's it. Jamie.
Yeah.
Your first introduction to ABC No Rio.
Well, Mike, you think you were out of place? Well, shit. I showed up with my giant starter jacket.
Nice.
You know, and my fucking bowl cut or whatever. But yeah, for me, like you were saying, like that's what you were looking for. I mean, my introduction to the scene was, you know, my introduction to punk was I liked The Offspring. You know, I didn't have any friends the first couple of years of high school. The only kids I hung out with were because no one else wanted it. We were the job squad, you know. And
yes, y'all were.
Like we played Magic the Gathering and played video games, and that wasn't cool back then to play video games.
Right.
And you know, but the one big differences that we had, you know, like I said, we only hung out because no one else wanted us. We were stuck with each other. We didn't like each other. The real difference was between me and those kids was they had zero interest in music at all. And I did. But then I found The Offspring, and then when, like I said, Magic the Gathering, when I went to Dragon's Den, the local comic store, to buy Magic cards, there was a couple metal geeks there who worked there, and they'd break my balls about the Offspring's not punk. Like, oh, that's not my. And so then I'd say, well, what is? And went from there. And then started hanging out, you know, Rockin' Rex. Well, after Rockin' Rex closed, that's when I hooked up with Chris again, who I knew from junior high. And James Shaw, give him a shout out. I know damn well he's not watching this.
No, I'll send it to him.
But give him credit, because you guys are the ones who put me on to where everybody hung out, you know, up here. And then we started going to shows from there. And my first show was CBGB's. Saw the Scabs and the Casualties. Speaking of the Casualties, I mean, that was like almost 25 years ago, and it was a known thing that Jorge was a pedo. And now, a couple years ago, it's a big shock. But anyhow, the Scabs, that's a band I fell in love with from day one. And then a couple weeks after that first show, you know, the Scabs were playing, and so we went there. Back then, as you guys know, some of the youngsters don't know this, but it was word of mouth back then.
Yeah, that's what Mike
shows from other people. And where is it? And you found it.
Almost most shows you heard about back then, at least for me, I'd see it in the Village Voice, in the back of the Village Voice. But you know, when people started saying ABC No Rio, I was like, well, I never saw that in the Village Voice. What's that?
Nope.
You know. So like you just see flyers and like, you know, what is this place? Why isn't it in the Village Voice? It's like, oh, it's that below the radar. It's not a club. It's not a bar. It's not even a legit. It's a squat. And so basically, and it was just, you know, you had to find it, and nobody knew that part of the Lower East Side. It was not hip back then. It was.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was like pre-gentrification. They were going through their own little. A lot of ABC's politics, which we're also going to get into. A lot of the politics was anti-gentrification shit. I would see ads and fanzines for them, and it was always political first. You know, it'd be like, all right, what they were doing politically, in community wise, and then it rolled. It was like, oh yeah, and by the way, they do shows, and it's non-sexist, homophobic, racist shows. It's like, all right, cool. Always there was this dude, OPEC Sid, that he had a hotline, and it was a free hotline, and you called up, and he would tell you what shows were going on. And shit.
Cool.
So there'll always be these shows going on, and he'd say the ABC shit later and stuff. And then I think at one point, I'm probably wrong, they were doing shows like every other day, then brought it to like Saturday and Sunday and shit. And it, getting there was everything Mike said. It was fucking, it was fucking Grandmaster Flash shit. It was like broken glass everywhere.
Yeah.
Type shit. Yeah, so the Furious Five were up in fucking ABC No Rio before it made the message after it.
It's like a shanty town around the corner with like chickens and shit like back then on Suffolk Street,
Yeah.
It was a totally different world back then. I mean, you got 14-year-old kids walking across the street to buy 40s, no problem. The liquor store around the corner, no one gave a shit.
Yeah, I always thought it was weird that they let us be able to drink up in there.
Yes.
You couldn't bring a 40 at CB's. I'm sure it's happened, but you couldn't be like, yo, I got ABC. Everybody was underage.
Good, bad, and ugly. You're talking about. Well, personally, like going to ABC, when we get into the politics of it, it changed my life forever. Yeah. But for the good, for better and worse, it put me on a path that altered the course of my life forever. I'd say a couple months prior to my first show there, that was my introduction to drugs and alcohol. And ABC was like the honeymoon. It was like, okay, wait, so we're kids. We can't drink at home. We can't go to nobody's house. It wasn't like those teen movies where there was parties in people's houses. None of that shit was happening. Not in Yonkers. So so this is a place that I could be inside and drinking and smoking weed and not worry about the cops giving me a ticket or nothing. Like, wow, this is great. It accelerated my addiction and alcoholism.
Yeah, like my first, I went there to see Sick and Mad, Slackers. No, it wasn't Slackers. Sick and Mad, Agent 99, maybe Home 33. Big up Ryan Inc. Fuck, who else? But and Change Inc. My man from Change Inc. rolled. It looked like a fibula. Like it was just this fucking the mother of all joints. And I just remember taking a hit and just like I felt like I was going down the Matrix and shit. And like this is upstairs. This is upstairs 9 o'clock on a Wednesday and shit. And then going in the basement to see shows and shit. That was and it was like, all right, cool. It was sort of like, as we started going in afterwards, like later on, it was sort of like the B girl and the Blind Melon fucking video. I'm welcome here, Mike. How was getting booked there?
The first time it was my band Junta, who was I was the only guy from New York. They were all up in Mount Kisco, actually, that band.
That's still New York.
Yeah, but they're from the city, that is. I was the only one from the city. And I remember there was some kind of, like my friend Jamie, who I mentioned before, his band Coercion was playing a show, and we weren't supposed to be on it, or they weren't, but we had one extra band on the bill, so there were 6 bands, and it was like we got, scolded by the people in charge because we put too many bands on the bill. But basically, like I was already started volunteering by then, and Jamie was a veteran volunteer by then, so this is not the Jamie we're talking to, by the way, right now. It's another Jamie for those at home. Or those out in Radio Land.
Jamie from Seisha.
Yeah, Jamie from Seisha, Coercion, Tapeworm, Off Minor, Kaboom, briefly. And that's how I got on my first show. And like I was already volunteering, so it wasn't hard, I guess, to get a show.
I wish you had the book there when I was playing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. That's the lead up.
Well, the funny thing is, like, I had the pleasure of sitting in on booking hours with Dave Powell, who was booking shows at the time, and like he was like ruthless. I just heard him get on the phone with this guy. He's like, yeah, your lyrics are kind of dumb and your demo kind of sucks, so we're not gonna.
What?
He just was straight honest, like. But I kind of respected it because he wasn't just like, he was discriminating in a good way. He wanted people, that were bringing something to the table, and it wasn't just like one kind of band that was playing there. So whatever he was doing, it was working, But James Hammer would probably say something different, and like I definitely had issues with some of the quote unquote powers that be back then. But I was an angry little kid, so what do I know?
Mike, like I said, if you were there at the time, it would have been different.
It would have been over.
I think what I dealt with you were already in it when I was first getting introduced to the scene.
Yeah, y'all were doing shows and shit.
Yeah.
And definitely
you already, what's crazy on that note? I recently, I saw something that Kelly posted, Kelly Kaboom.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly played with Mike, for those who don't know, and in Kaboom. And I had no idea that me and her are the same age. That's fucking crazy to me.
You always thought she was older or younger?
Huh?
You always thought she was older?
I thought she was older.
I did too.
Just because she had already accomplished so much. She had already done so much. She was like, been there, done that.
Yeah.
As far as playing shows was concerned, before I even got started in playing in bands.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She was like our kid sister. Like, I'm a little older, and then you guys, she was like our kid sister in the band, and we're real proud of her, like all she's accomplished since, because she's
accomplished so much beyond anything that I did, anything beyond music, anything. I mean, she's involved in the founding of the Occupy movement.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
Go
United Federation of Teachers. Like, she's been teaching New York City public schools for I don't know, close to 20 years now or something. Crazy.
See, there's the silver lining to the shit.
Yeah.
Because I remember, Mike, you sort of gravitating towards us and vice versa. Because the Westchester guys were a bunch of loud assholes.
Yeah.
We were all fucking loud. We sort of had to, because we had boroughs to fucking go against. We had the cool kids. We had motherfuckers squatting that was fucking chilling at ABC. So we sort of had to be the fucking, it's like, all right, we need our voice heard, And people
were our own entity, though.
We were, but it was sort of, we sort of made our own little island. Like,
we did. Well, our group was, because we would go to ABC, then we would go to CB's, we'd go to Wetlands, we'd go to wherever the show, we didn't go to one particular show. We didn't, we were, there was like punk and hardcore and these are all different cliques, but we went everywhere.
I mean,
and we were loud assholes everywhere we went.
Yeah. But Mike sort of saw that. I remember, Mike just yo, these motherfuckers is wild. I'm gonna go chill with them. We all had other Westchester people to fucking fight off. Because it was Yonkers. It was the Yonkers niggas that were fucking wild, unapologetic. Motherfuckers would get kicked out of ABC, piece to Jim. Motherfuckers.
We're from Yonkers. We're not from Westchester. Fuck you, right? That was our
old little fucking island and shit. Like Mike and Neil from Tribal War. Those were like the two that were like, yo, I'm fucking with them. They fucking loud, But
that really did match the kind of vibe of ABC, because it was always about people just acting silly and foolish there, and just it wasn't the tough guy vibe. It was like everyone was acting ridiculous there, and so to me, you guys epitomized that, what it was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be fun and stupid, and and you guys took the piss out of everything, and that's why I gravitated toward you guys.
You want to talk about Big Surprise?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd be blessed here.
Still singing.
Kaboom had a song called "Big Surprise,"
Right. Oh, Vince.
which was it was a series. Actually, it was about O.J. Simpson.
We were all obsessed with.
It was a serious subject matter, but we decided that every time Kaboom played a big surprise, we got to do we have to have a surprise for everybody in attendance, whether they liked it or not. So we would come up with, what are we going to do this time? And of course, the most infamous is I still have a picture of you, Mike, covered in a giant soccer net. I think me and Jim.
Without a net, for our song without a net.
Without a net. We switched it up. So we were debating this. So it was me and Jim and Jesse. We probably stayed up all night. We were hanging out. And we were near Scarsdale. There was this abandoned health spa we used to hang out at on Central Avenue that's been sitting abandoned for 30-something years, and no one knows why.
And they had a free.
Yeah, so we go up to there's Edgemont High School right up the hill, and we stole their soccer net and put it in a duffel bag and dragged it down to ABC. Yeah, and that was the debate. Like, so wait a minute, this is the surprise. Do we do it during Big Surprise, or net? So we got to do it during without net. And we just cover the entire crowd with a soccer net. And then one time during
right now, I have it somewhere.
I still have it. And one of the when they were still doing shows in the basement at ABC, I think this is one of the gym plans. I think he just used an entire container of baby powder and his baby powder all over the fucking basement. And it's a big cloud of baby powder. That was his surprise.
Clean that up.
And there's giant clouds of baby powder, and people are coughing, and you just come up to me and Jim that wasn't cool, guys.
Is that coming up?
That's it. I see it.
Yes.
Oh God, how do I get rid of it now?
And you had some of the guilty parties in that fucking in the comment section of that. Fucking crazy. Oh man, those are now. Let me get back to the politics of ABC. First I thought y'all would have fucking opposing shit. Jamie, you were sort of more outspoken about your beefs with ABC.
Well, the heat I had with ABC came long after Mike was involved.
Okay.
Like I said, I wish he was there when I was playing. It would have been different, I'm sure. As far as politics, like the leftist politics, I fully agree with them on. In fact, I think being involved, being around like-minded people, like Mike said earlier, like I said, that's what I was looking for my whole life.
Yeah.
My whole life, I felt like I didn't fucking belong anywhere.
Yeah.
And I had a hard time getting along with making friends when I was a kid. I just never felt comfortable anywhere. And then I got there and it's like, this is for me.
Yeah.
And then I grew up in a very conservative household. I grew up in, I went to junior high in 91, went to school wearing a Desert Storm t-shirt and Desert Camo Zubaz.
Nice.
That was a mark for whatever my family believed. All the soldiers are fighting for our freedom, and that's it. You don't question anything about it.
Wait, they weren't?
But, huh?
Wait, they weren't? I thought they were.
What?
Fighting for our freedom. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, but
your soul.
But no racism, no sexism, no homophobia. That was just, to me, that just felt like, yeah, that's the way it should be. Like, we grew up surrounded by homophobia, surrounded by xenophobia, but then I was like, this makes sense. This is the way it should be. And 25 years later, we're still having this fight, and it's ridiculous. People elected a guy because he told them it was okay to be racist and sexist and homophobic. On that note, this is a historic day in American history. Every 4 years, we celebrate this day that Dave Chappelle's hosting Saturday Night Live.
And Dave Chappelle, we got Eddie Kingston fighting for a fucking belt, and
Yep.
we get the lesser of two fucking evils. Yeah.
So anyway, the
We get
politics. I agree.
as a vice president. So
Yep.
I ain't
And
mad.
I agreed politically with them, but I think I thought they took it too far.
I can see that.
However, I understand why now, because all the shit that's happening now with people, it's become mainstream for people to rub being a Nazi in your face while denying that they're a Nazi at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It used to be confined to scene politics, and now I understand that that's what they were up against. They were up against people being covert about it, not admitting what the fuck they were, and then they were paranoid that everybody might be. So,
yeah, because I would go around and I'd get annoyed because they seemed uptight about the politics, and I'd be like, I know what I'm about, you know what I'm about, or you should, and I'm like, how do they know my backstory or what I think, without my saying it explicitly? In retrospect, I get, why they were uptight about it, and I get it in the sense that the whole safe space thing. It's like in 1995 or whatever, if you were like, like a queer kid or even a kid of color going to a space like that, you may not feel too comfortable. And if anyone said something, even in jest or like in mocking, that mentality that made you feel like maybe there was some of that bigotry in this space, you may not want to come back. And they were trying to be inclusive at a time when people weren't talking about inclusivity being important.
I understand that, but I think later, like I said, when there was bands that were fucking bitches about what they were, they're like, they don't talk about that in public.
Right.
They deny it. They rub it in your face. Like this piece of shit band up here, Offensive Weapon. Yeah, I'll shoot on them. What the fuck? They're on a white power record label in Europe, but then when someone gets them thrown off shows, oh, Antifa's lying about us. We're not Nazis. There's no Nazis. Nazis died in World War II and all that stupid shit. So that's what they're up against. And then they're afraid, so they're paranoid about everybody. And what happened, I also thought, on a side note, their booking was hypocritical at times. Like they would censor bands. If you had anything in your lyrics that they didn't approve of, you can't play here. They had rules for playing, but those rules could be circumvented if one of the volunteers is friends with if one of the girls who volunteered is friends with the band, it's okay, and that's bullshit.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of going around, type of shit with their bookings. You're like, yo, they're playing, but her boyfriend's a Nazi.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, like there was a band that they had lyric. It was they weren't fucking Nazis or nothing, but their lyric. It was a joke of a song. The whole song was, if you don't like hardcore, you're gay. Hardcore rules, okay. It was just a stupid fucking song, but so obviously that would be, they couldn't play there, but no, one of the girls got them booked there, so it was okay. That's bullshit.
I guess,
be consistent about it,
I guess they went under the parody, the parody laws. Yeah.
The whole story about abjects getting thrown off a show there.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Oh, okay. So everything I've been talking about, I had, it seemed cliquey to me, the way they would book bands. They weren't consistent with their policies. That was aggravating, and then I had a band that I've been trying. This is basically when I started going to shows there as a kid, this is the band I wanted to bring there. This is what I wanted to do. Like, I would see Kaboom and Awkward Thought and Murphy's Law and whoever, and like, I want to do that. And it took a long time for me to get to that point, to have that. Yeah. And I wanted to play there. I wanted to bring that, even though it was years later, it was a different time. It was a different, No more shows in the basement. No more drinking inside. I knew any of that. It was, but whatever. It was still ABC. You know, that was to me. It was like growing up as a wrestling fan. That's like That's like working at the ECW arena.
Yeah.
Or Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
But that's how I looked at it. You know, and then so what happened was somebody threw us off. We were booked there. Joey Steele got us booked there. And then everybody else, like, they threw us off the show because I think Craig went on Chuck's Facebook page and said he was coming to the show. And
Or little Craig?
Yeah, and in his fucking Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, whatever the fuck gimmick I mean, he shows up like he lives in the woods or some bullshit. I don't know what he does. Like this, we played a show at the lake, and him and these other fucking, I don't know what the fuck they are. Like
Raul got
like hippie Nazi geeks or whatever. What do you call them? Like they're like kind of like hippies, kind of like a fucking militia in the woods, kind of like. But he starts showing up again around this time period, and like acting like he's reformed and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he's still the same piece of shit he always was. Someone found an interview with him where he's denying the Holocaust happened. And,
oh yeah.
You know, so he's like an anarchist hippie, but still a fucking Nazi. And so because he went on Facebook and said he was coming to the show, they took it as Abject is bringing Nazis with them, and they're going to hijack ABC No Rio. And then Matt went there and argued with them. Said, that's not who we are. Fuck him and fuck Craig. Fuck, we got nothing to do with these people.
Mm-hmm.
Read my lyrics. You know what we're about. We're on the same fucking page. And they didn't want to hear it.
Mm.
And like I said, I understand the heightened sense of paranoia, and because of the covert bonehead tactics, the modern day bonehead, I'm going to show you how much of a fucking Nazi I am, but then if you say I'm a Nazi, no, Antifa's lying about me. Never fucking thought that would be White House policy. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
But I was hurt by that. Like I said, I've told you how much I always wanted to play there since I was 17. And I was angry by the whole thing. I was pissed off and hurt. So I, in turn, wrote a song about them that was the fucking punk rock equivalent of The Bridge Is Over.
Yeah.
It's called Playing Chess with a Pigeon. It's on Ugly on the Inside, the second Abject album that you can get on Dead City Records. So shout out to John Franco.
Peace to Franco, who I'm going to have on the show down the line. You agreed to it? 38 hours episode?
Huh?
Nah, I got Franco down the line. I got end up on this unnamed show right now. It's sick.
But 38 hours. You know, you have a 38 hours episode with Franco.
Yeah.
And Rich McLaughlin and you know, well, that could also work as a why am I booking your shows for you? What am I doing? but then do the 39 hours episode about Abject being locked up for 39 hours.
Get back to that. I mean, I got the Franco shit's gonna be all Greyhound related. Like I got like these pioneers of the but it's shit. He's definitely a fucking pioneer after that shit.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully my man Icon, this dude made a fucking Greyhound Discovery Pass.
Huh.
Yeah, and fucking toured with a rap group, like behind, like shadowed them. And
wow.
And he's got some ill fucking stories and shit. Hopefully I get this dude Dub Six that sort of did the same. Like he was influenced by Icon, and he's got his own little couple of stories too. So it's sort of, it's gonna be the icons of doing music shows, you know.
Wow.
Transported on Greyhound and shit. So
I gotta give a public. I mean, I've reached out to him through messengers and what have you, and never I haven't seen him in person, but I'll do it again on here. I issue a public apology to Snyder.
Oh yeah.
Volunteered forever there, because we played a show. Abjects played a show in New Jersey. It was one of our first shows. It was before Shuffles and Spew joined us. And we played a show, and there was some band. We didn't know the other bands, you know. Snyder contacts me on Facebook, says, listen, this is going to sound kind of strange, but this band, Combate 49, they're neo-fascists. I know it sounds weird because there's the Latinos and they sing in Spanish, but I'm like, God, that doesn't make any sense. And then you ask somebody, ask around, oh no, the ABC just doesn't like them because they're skinheads. I'm like, whatever. And we play the show, and then it's nothing, like there's nobody comes to the show. It was, it's just them and their friends, and there's just a bunch of fucking Mexicans or whatever, Zeke Heiling. Like, what the fuck is this? Wow. So Snyder was right, and I should have listened to him.
I
wish we never played with those pieces of shit.
There's definitely, look at the Florida election results, man. Like, there's some of that kind of tomfoolery going on with Latin Nazis. It's very strange.
That's different. I mean, those guys. What those guys, Miami is Cuban, and of course they were scared into thinking that Biden is a leftist, which is fucking absurd in its own right, but that, oh no, communism, oh God, no, that's what they were scared. That was a scare tactic used by the Trump campaign. It obviously worked well.
I think they were getting down before that, but more.
Yeah, okay.
You got a lot of, I was going to say, T.O. Toms. I think it's motherfuckers trying to graduate to white, but it's like, once I'm
That's
done.
what my wife said.
Yeah, once I'm done, they're coming after you, once the niggas is gone, they can look at, diet nigga, the fucking rap for them.
Yeah, a lot of Jews think that way too. Like, it's funny. It's like, what do you think they say about us when we leave the room, man? Like, we're not... We're going next,
Yeah, it's sort of the same setup. It's like, all right, you got we got factions, you got Jewish factions, you got black factions, that don't like each other and shit.
Oh, Jewish Nazis, yeah. Combate 49 had a bass player who's Jewish, and they got over on everybody with this gimmick.
Yeah,
they played with Murphy's. Somebody booked them with Murphy's Law on a Halloween show years ago. And everywhere they played, because they were a shit band and no one ever listens to them, no one cared about them, but somehow they would get booked and nobody would, and then Antifa or volunteers from the lake or whoever would contact venues and get them thrown off shows. I remember this on Facebook. Somebody says on Jimmy's page, that band is playing with you, or Boneheads, right? And then he said, oh, sure, a band with a guy named Hiram are Nazis, right? Like, they get it. That's how they get away with it.
Yeah.
That's how I know Chris Jackson. I'm not a Nazi. Or
that's what
I know.
I was like, the Murphy's Law show is where you go smoke the blunt with the Nazi. Like, nigga, ain't you a Nazi? Not today. All right, word. All right. pass that weed. Like, all right, cool. Yeah.
That's the modern day Boneheads. They fool people who known better for years,
Yeah, but it's also sort of mixed. Like, now, you got Proud Boys of color,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like,
yeah, we're not going to name any names here.
I know a bunch.
Yes.
I'll be on the next show. No. That's my next investigation. Brown Nazi. So, yeah. But yeah, it's a weird. It's a weird. You'll have a Proud Boy that'll be spewing the shit, and then it's like, oh, and here's Jerome. Like, hi, I'm Jerome. Like, come on, nigga, you look mad out of place.
I mean, they're cloaking it, which is almost like, it's kind of like a bitch move. Like, why don't you just say what you're about instead of trying to cloak it? Like, not
exactly.
It's cowardly. If you're about that, just say it. And deal with the consequences.
Yep.
No, they deflect. They blame other people. Oh, they're lying about me, or the whataboutism is a big thing now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh well, no, he's friends with so and so, so it's okay for me to. Why you bother me? He did this.
Yeah.
We live in some strange times, and I think it's gonna get way stranger.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna get we're gonna get. I think after this Biden run, we'll probably get a fucking black conservative, you know, that swing shit in the other direction. So
If Trump doesn't run again,
yeah, that's the rumor. They say he might try to come back in 4 years.
If he's not in jail, you know.
Not in jail. Yeah.
that's a big hope. It's like he gets away with everything now. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The IRS don't fuck around. Like, you know,
Taxes.
like, that owes 9 figures, man. Like, you get in trouble if you owe like $4,000.
Oh yeah, yeah. This shit, yo, you'll get you can murder someone, get away with it, but then still get fed time for the fucking taxes. So
Yep. That's how they got Al Capone.
yep.
Yeah.
Trump might get Capone. We'll see.
Yep.
Oh man, this is.
But yeah, this is the end of Return of the Jedi.
It is. But you got.
But Snoke and the First Order are out there, and apparently Palpatine is still alive too. For Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So
who wrote that shit? Jesus Christ.
I like and it's the Mandalorian is holding the franchise on his back.
I still gotta watch that.
You haven't watched? God damn! What yo? It redeemed Star Wars.
Okay.
It has redeemed every bullshit about the prequels and the new joints. Like, it is such a redeeming factor.
Damn.
And yeah, it's fuck it. Like, you forget about everything. You're just like, all right, man, put this shit on the side. Put the last 20 years on the side. This motherfucker, you know. And it's, you know,
Giancarlo Esposito can get anything over.
Oh man, he's such a good bad guy. Like
oh yeah,
he's got a strict, like, his voice. He's got a certain stern voice that just cuts daggers. Even when he talks like, you know, shoot talks, his shit is just, you know, fucking, like, just the way he pronounces shit, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Bugging out.
You're like, yo, bugging out is a morph in the Empire. Next. My wet dream is Spike Lee directing a Star Wars joint. I don't care if it's an episode. My wet dream is Spike Lee directing, but with like the little Spike Lee nuances.
Yeah.
It's shit like hearing the back and forth pan cam, you know, in an argument, and then like how he does the dolly grip shit, you know, in all his movies. So yeah, that's my Denzel in a Marvel movie, Spike Lee directing some kind of Star Wars joint.
I'll take it.
Hopefully I'll live for that. So one day. Gentlemen, any closing? Anything else y'all want to add on?
About ABC?
Anything. You can do ABC.
I don't know. It was a great spot. I'm glad I spent the years I did involved with it. And I hope they do rebuild it. And I hope, you know, there's a new generation of little, you know, dumb kids who go there and make something new. And, you know, even if it doesn't sound like the stuff we did exactly, like, you know, I hope kids keep coming up and trying to do stuff themselves. And
trap punk.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they do trap punk, you know.
Like, our kids, we'll have these biracial kids taking a train to fucking ABC.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Talk shit about keep our level of shit talking.
Yeah. I'm hoping.
One day, you know, unless we get some ABC type shit up in our neck of the woods. We're all, you know, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hudson Valley ABC. Let's make it happen.
Mike, how close are you to Beacon?
I'm pretty glad. I'm like a half-hour drive.
Beacon's supposed to be popping.
Really?
Beacon is popping. I like Beacon a lot. Yeah.
You know, like the New York Times calls everything the next Brooklyn. Beacon is supposed to be that shit right now.
Beacon is dope.
Wow.
Like, and yeah. No, I like Beacon a lot, and yeah, I spend time there as much as I can. I'll meet you up there sometime, Chris. We'll hang out.
I think the next wave is probably that neck of the woods. I think Manhattan and whatnot will be priced out too much by then. Hopefully there's still an ABC, but I think the next wave, you know, all the little, the suburb shit will finally fucking pop off. I think
I hope
If
so.
you believe all the rhetoric from the right, then shit, the Lower East Side is going to be back soon to what we remember it as.
maybe.
It's a ghost town in a war zone.
But
Yeah.
let's see. We still got De Blasio, so let's see how he fucking maneuvers shit. Yeah.
Speaking of ABC in Westchester, The Loft was not it. It was the worst of ABC, but that's a whole other subject.
Oh no.
Hey, and the Tooth. Don't forget the Tooth.
Oh shit.
Well, The Tooth was the best of ABC.
Yeah, the Tooth was the fucking ECW of everything.
Well, you got to do an episode about the Tooth.
Oh, that I've tried. I
Absolutely.
wanted to do a fucking Tooth documentary for a minute. And shit. I got another project coming up, but I might fucking do the fucking Tooth episode. That might be the year-end edition. And
Yeah.
shit.
Wow.
You know, just lightly touching on it now. Pause. Like it was so. It was there for the short run and disappeared, and then later on, like 10 years later, everyone's like, yo, remember the Tooth? You remember the Tooth? It's like, yeah, three grand opening, grand closing. Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
So that'll be
That was a different time. That was such a different fucking era that I don't know what happened. That in the middle of Yonkers, if people came from the city to go there, came from wherever, people used to travel the shows a lot better. And then in the recent years, the last decade or so, it's like no one fucking travels anywhere to shows. Like they thought Barney McNabb's was in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad. Like McNabb's is sort of like public transportation wise, it works. It
Yeah, but
works.
nobody went. No,
But
nobody came from it.
Yeah, it's on a fucking ancient Indian burial ground, you know. Besides Roosevelt being the Roosevelt Indians, you know, so it's sort of,
Yep.
you know. But yeah, I mean, McNabb sort of coulda, woulda, shoulda, but it's also the, all right, fucking McNabb's, you know. There's
Yeah.
potential.
I think also like there was things used to be more centrally located, and so you'd always go to the same place. So everyone would be traveling to Lower East Side or something like that. And then it's just like everything got so priced out that everyone was further and further out, and things were all over the place. So you'd had to travel everywhere. So like you wanted to travel as little as possible. I think
We were already doing that back then. I remember me and Jim went to a show, God knows where in Queens. We took like 2 trains and 2 buses out there.
I feel like it might be a younger man's game, like because I
absolutely was. I wouldn't do that now.
Hell yeah, I don't know. Like yeah.
Maybe Tony Pratley goes a lot of shit, for his age.
Yeah,
the old bastard.
Absolutely.
He's 320, but out of nowhere, like, oh shit, Tony's at the show. Yay, get him his Ovaltine.
I remember, by the way, it was an honor. And then you pointed it out to me when we did the Abject 7-inch release show at the place in Brooklyn. I don't know what it's called now. But that's where all the Kingsland, I think it's called.
Kingsland, yeah.
And that's like the new spot there, and well, it was pre-pandemic. But that you pointed out, and it was a proud moment for me. Like you said, wow, you got Tony and Ryan from Home 33 in the same place. Wow.
Oh man. Yeah, that's it's like, oh shit, this is sort of looking around. You're like, oh wow, this is fucking look at these 2 old show OGs.
Yep.
You chop it up with Ryan just about not even just playing, like going to fucking shows. You good fucking stories.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know how old I was. I mean, like, I guess I don't look as old as I am typically, because we played with his old Abject, played with his band Dead Serious, and I shouted him out. It might have been post that. It might have been Ache and Coast to the Edge actually. And I shouted him out, like, I remember going to see Home 33 at CBGB's, and he comes up to me after, he's like, you didn't really see Home 33 at CB's. And you were like, yeah, I did. It was like, I remember you when you played with Downset. And he was like, yo, Downset.
And then fucking Ray from Downset called him Room 33. Just him in Home 33, those motherfuckers was blacklisted because
Oh,
my
wow.
man is wild. My man live used to be a fucking wild man. My man. That he was a live boy. This book he says, and them motherfuckers got blacklisted. Yeah.
Yeah.
By who?
By every club in fucking New York, pretty much. You would talk about, yo, you see Home 33, you're like, yo, they, people pull you to the side, like, yo, your man's blacklisted. Like,
What the fuck?
For a minute,
I had no idea.
Yeah.
What did he do? I have no idea. What did he do? Like,
You ain't never seen them, like, their old shit live? Yo,
Yeah.
Ryan was
yeah,
fucking.
he was like bouncing off the ceilings, but like I never thought that would get him in trouble. I mean,
Motherfuckers like breaking lights, allegedly.
yeah, true.
Big allegedly, and shit.
He was definitely wild live. Yeah.
That nigga
Shout
was
out to Ryan.
like G.G. Allen type wild. Shit.
Yeah. I've known that guy like from like back in like '94, like when I started going to the shows at ABC. Like, yeah, like that's around the time I met that dude. Like, and I'd go in to visit him at Trash and Vaudeville all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jorge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd go. I'd go fucking trash him. I'd stand out to Ryan and shit. Because I was the biggest Ryan stan. So shit. Like I saw last I saw him was at a Fishbone show, and I'd see him at shows and always give him the boost. So he's coming up for the boost to go crowd surf, and I'm like, I said, yo, I've been doing this for like 20-something years, man. Like, trying to give him the fucking boost. Like, yo, I've been doing this for a long time. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, who did Kelly work at Trash? Or no, it was chick from the Rivettes.
Yeah, maybe. I knew this girl Jenny from high school who like worked down there, who founded the Lower East Side Girls Club. But that's someone else.
Rachel Rivet.
I think it was Rachel Rivet worked there.
I have a story to tell. I have a story about Rachel Rivet involving her that's probably not appropriate for any media, but involves Filthy Jim wearing an oversized coat.
I think in a bathroom, and
it wasn't a bathroom.
Oh, okay. There wasn't him eating his yam.
Mike, I just want everybody to know that Mike, and the rest of the crew, we made fun of Rick to life long before it was cool.
Yeah, we did. I had to describe him to someone recently who had never heard his voice, and I was like, well, imagine if Scooby-Doo was constantly vomiting.
Oh, wow.
Can you tell the story of riding in Rick's van and he picked up rat bones along the way?
Yeah, I was with some little punk rock kid whose name I forget, and we were a generation, and we were talking rat bones, and Rick is there, and he's like, yeah, what up, you guys? Where you guys going? We talk like Mike Tyson, and then we're like, we're just gonna walk like St. Mark. He's like, I give you a man, come on, I give you a man, my man, come on. And so we all pile into his van, and it's just like plastered with 25 to life flyers, like wallpaper all over the inside. And he's like, and so we're in the back seat, and rapping in the front seat, Rick is talking. He's like, yeah, what's up, man? What's going on? You keeping me? Yeah. And then Rick sees someone he knows across the street, and he leans out the window and he's singing a 25 to life song. He gave me a ride. He's a nice guy. So, I'm sorry he turned into a crazy Nazi, but he was nice to me.
Yeah. And my experience with Rick was cool. I booked 25 to life, and a lot of booking is such a pain in the fucking ass.
Wait, you got them at Nabs?
Yes.
That was you?
And yeah.
Yo,
huh?
There was a lot of, before you go into what you go, that show, there was a lot of people pulling me to the side, talking shit about them. Yo, this motherfucker. Someone was like, yo, this motherfucker cuts because he cut them long ass promos and shit. Yo, this motherfucker just cut promos and shit.
Yeah. But a lot trying to this was the MySpace era, which was much better band promotion tool.
Mhm.
By the way, I don't know why it went away. It was so easy to book and things like that. But you'd contact bands and try to get on to and book, and then you dealt with a lot of assholes who thought they were rock stars and wouldn't respond to you. And Rick was very easy to deal with. It was no problem. But then that's before he lost his damn mind. But
the other thing, didn't he have like a makeshift rap career?
oh God.
Look
Have you
this
heard
on
that?
YouTube right now.
Look up Mike Around the World. That is the funniest thing of all time. I don't know. Look up like Rick to Life, Mike Around the World. It's a song I took my Mike around. Somebody made the greatest fucking video for it of all time.
They just look up Rick to Life rap, and it's so bad, and it's exactly what you would imagine it is,
Mm-hmm.
which is hilarious. Like, it's just like he doesn't even try to do something try to be legit. He's just being Rick, which I guess is kind of admirable, but it's bizarre.
Yeah, that was one.
Rumbling, tumbling, I'm on the ground.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to bounce in a sec. I got a 5-week-old that I gotta go take care of.
Oh yeah!
But,
congratulations, by the way.
Yeah,
thank you.
Mike, thank you for everything. One of the most profound lyrics of all time that I always based my entire existence in the scene on. If you're a freak and you're an outcast, this scene belongs to you. If not, there's a door. Take a hike and take your fucking crew.
Thank you. Yeah, I
favorite
appreciate you.
All right, this was my first episode, and it turned out to be it was fun. A lot of fucked up first episodes. It's probably my third time trying to do a fucking podcast, but it came together. This one,
I blame the champagne.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this motherfucker was. All you needed was a cat. Yo, he started the show with fucking champagne, looking all types of gangster. Hey, hello. My cat is hiding. Oh, where's your black and white cat?
Oh, he's inside. I'm hanging out on the porch.
Smoking a stove and shit.
Yeah.
I have
got my pipe too.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. Next time we'll have the cats on next time.
That's
cat test. Yeah.
Chat. Because my man Happy had a cat on, I forgot which one. Cat on lithium. You gonna kill him. Anyway, I got a pay-per-view to watch. Come on, get this fucking belt.
I got some poopy diapers to change.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, folks, this is my first episode. I'd like to thank my two guests, Jamie Hammer, Mike Kaboom. This will not be their last time on. They will definitely be back. Probably when we get backlash for this.
Anytime.
All right, the next show is the
I'll be the fucking honky tonk man of your podcast.
Yeah, I might get you on some wrestling shit. We'll see.
Love you guys. Stay safe.
Love you too, brother. All right,
take care.
Jamie, I will get at you on some wrestling shit. I'm going to wrap this up. This is Omegajackson. Love you, motherfuckers. Peace.